Good afternoon. This is Force Technologies again. This is our second podcast after the success of the first one, where we spoke about semiconductor obsolescence. It was actually quite surprising how many people didn't know actually what it meant, and we've had quite a few good questions, so thanks for that. Today, I'm really excited to be sitting here with our chairman, who is also the founder of the company and my husband. So Mike founded the company back in 1986, but you actually started the industry a little bit before that, didn't you?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably around 74 with Texas Instruments.
Didn't you work for GC?
I was an apprentice at GEC as it was then it became British Aerospace. And I did a lot of work on Concorde and little bits on Concorde and little bits on some of the other fighter aircraft. But yeah, basic military stuff.
Yeah, and then you went to Texas Instruments.
Yeah, I found engineering was okay, but there was more money in sales.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would. That's why I left engineering and went to sales.
Yeah. And when did you start Force?
86.
Yeah.
As you just say, yeah, a long time ago.
So when we first started Force, I wasn't here then. You were here in 86. I joined in 88. But the whole reason was to bring the Atmel franchise, wasn't it, from the US? We were the first distributor, European distributor.
Yeah, we started off as a broker, a wheeler dealer as it was called then. But then we took the Atmel franchise and went from there, really.
Yeah, we were the first European.
First European, yeah. We did about 20% of Atmel's turnover, worldwide turnover. In the second year we had the franchise. And now they turn over $1.5 billion, and we are where we are. Something went wrong. I know what went wrong. Basically, Atmel saw us making too much profit, so they decided to open a European office, and that's when we got kicked out.
Yeah, but lucky for us, because of that, our first FT product was an Atmel obsolescence product, wasn't it? The FT27C1024.
No, not to call you a liar or anything, but it was actually an Hitachi die that we turned into an Atmel part.
Oh, okay.
And that was a 27C256.
Okay.
Followed closely by a 512, which we took the die from other manufacturers and turned it into our own die.
Well, that's what we can do, isn't it? That's one of the reasons we do the solutions. We take sometimes a different die to the one that's gone obsolete, check all the parameters. I mean, that's what engineering does. That's what you do, Ben, isn't it?
Yeah, and then ensure the reliability is like for like, and the customer's getting exactly what they want in terms of specification, and they're not going to have any problems on their board, and they can just drop it in and have no future obsolescence problems with it, really.
Yeah, all the manufacturers in those days used to put a slight difference in the parameters of their devices so no one could copy them. But it's not rocket science, and we managed to find out what those slight differences were and accommodate those in the FT parts.
And we've been doing that sort of ever since, really, haven't we? Since it was the first product done.
1995.
1995.
Yeah, before you were born, Charlotte. Before I was born, yeah. 1995. So basically, we designed this product into, I won't say what the project was because you're not allowed to, and they rang us up and said, what are you going to do? We made it obsolete. And I said, absolutely nothing. I'm going off to have a baby, actually. And they said, no, hold on a minute. So we talked about it, and you found the Hitachi die, and we found a company to package it for us. We tested it. I drove it up there to the customer in the Midlands and put it on their board, and the rest, they say, is history.
We produced that part in 95, and we stopped selling it to what was Goodrich then, wasn't it? Oh, sorry. That was many years ago. It's changed hands about 5 times now. So anyway, that part, and we only stopped shipping to this unknown company about 10 years ago. So it was a long, long time before they decided to upgrade.
Yeah. It was a good product.
Nothing's really changed now, and we've still got orders, that we've sort of secured and happy to ship to until sort of, well into 2035 and beyond.
Yeah, but you get us a really old product, don't you? That's where the specs go over to you. Yeah. What's that one we did? It was 1975.
Some of the products, the buyers say, oh, I think this one's a little bit old. And I say, how old? They send over the spec, and it's like 74, 75. And I say, I know someone that would like to have a look at that. And I would probably remember that.
Well, I've still got data books in our library, which is only available in those books. They're not even on Google because they're so old.
Yeah,
now, some people come to us and say, these parts, we look for our library, we normally find the part.
No records.
Thank God I didn't get rid of those books. The old Texas Yellow Pages, which older engineers listen to this will recognise. The yellow and orange TI books.
Yeah, they're a real goldmine for cross-referencing.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, the IC Master, again, those of you listen, if they've got an IC Master, that was brilliant. Although the pages are a little bit worn now, but it was basically a great big thick book, wasn't it?
That was the only source of finding out what was what in those days, was the IC Master. So I think it was 3 issues.
They were quite expensive at the day, I remember.
They're probably worth a fortune.
Yeah, in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, they even now they're extremely helpful day to day. And I started 17, 18 years ago, something along those lines.
Just stop making semiconductors and start selling our library.
But yeah, it's been a learning curve for me, definitely, sort of picking up, and learning about obsolete and being taught by Mike all of the various idiosyncrasies of all those old obsolete.
Even the products that, even from when you started, have changed, haven't they? I mean, you've got the smaller packages now, and we've got all COTS and, reliability plan. I know we're going to talk about reliability in podcast 3, but certainly the chips have got smaller and more designs, and that's because we've got the multi-chip modules as well. But all the custom designs that we do, that's changed in the 16 years you've been here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the advancement in semiconductors is just showing no signs of stopping, is it really now? It's just...
Well, even Moore's Law is in somewhat the background now because it doesn't really apply to semiconductors.
Yeah, and they're touching on quantum computing and all the rest of it. It's...
Most of the chips, the way they're getting smaller and more complex, means that you can actually put more of a system on a chip, SoC as they call it. So there'll be a case where customers are requiring an SoC to fulfill their system design rather than actually designing a circuit. And I think that's where firmware and software will come into it.
Yeah.
Whereas you'll buy a part of a system.
Yeah.
And part of the system chip, and then you'll use that in your system and then just modify it by firmware or software. That's the future.
Yeah, it'll make life easier. It's
We still got a plan for obsolescence of those systems.
There'll always be obsolescence, because that's the way the semiconductor market runs. It's one day you've got a glut, next minute you've got a shortage, boom and bust. Used to be 4 years. I think it's more like 2.5 years now.
Yeah, I think you're still about right from the last presentation I saw. Saw a presentation that I had. Yeah.
Do you remember years ago we used to go to the exhibitions and whatever product was way before your time, whatever product was in shortage, people used to walk around with them under their arms. Trying to sell them.
Stories.
Static RAMs and DRAMs and stuff, and they'd literally be walking around with tubes under their arms, saying, "Oh, do you want to?"
That was the anti-dumping. When anti-dumping came in and they started putting the tariffs on Far Eastern product, I think it's 40% at one time. Yeah. People were shipping them in with 74 series logic on the outside, and inside with all the DRAMs. So they're cheap, and that was what was going on. We never did that.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So it was. They were good days. I mean, we went to shows not really to sell product, as you say, but have a drink with your friends. That was what exhibitions was all about. But it's all changed now.
You're not allowed to do that, man.
No, I'm not allowed to do anything like that.
Not officially.
But yeah, I mean, we've been doing obsolescence ever since you guys set that up, and that's our day-to-day bread and butter. And
and we're rather good at it.
I think the next podcast, what we're going to be talking about in the next
reliability. I mean, that'll be you and Charlotte and all the testing we do and your department and what they get involved in. But for now, thanks for coming along, Mike.
Oh, now.
You're finished now.
I'll go back to resting.
Thanks for coming along. Thanks for listening, everybody. Keep the questions coming in for next time. Again, next time we're talking about reliability, testing. So if anybody wants to ask us about what our testing regime is like and some of the processes we go through, send the questions in, and we'll tackle them next time. Thanks for listening.